Hello and welcome to the Strategic Marketing presentation. My name is Jonathan Murdoch and I'm the administrator for Ross Manor for Rehabilitation. RMR is a 120-bed skilled nursing facility which serves nearly 32,000 people throughout the Bangor, Maine and surrounding area. RMR has recently undergone a major renovation, modifying 2 of its wings into private single-patient surgical rehabilitation rooms. They've also renovated the rehabilitation gym and expanded their service offerings to include physical, occupational, and speech therapy. This renovation was necessary as RMR is currently in negotiations with Eastern Maine Medical Center, EMMC, to secure an exclusive post-surgical rehabilitation contract. RMR's mission statement should tell the public what our core intent is. Here at Ross Manor, we strive to restore our patients' sense of well-being and peace of mind. We do this by repairing the broken, setting the bar for quality, and bringing our patients and providers together in excellence. Now that we've established our mission, let's take a moment to discuss where we're going. The vision of a company can only be fulfilled if it is shared by not only management but also staff. The need for a vision statement will always be a top-down directive, but its development needs to come from the bottom up. We talked with our employees about what Ross Manor does well, what they feel is important, how satisfied they think our customers are, and how they think we can improve. After this review, we feel passionately that Ross Manor will lead the region in rehabilitation services by placing patients at the center of everything we do. During the composition of this strategic plan, SWOT analysis was utilized. A SWOT analysis has both internal and external components, and simply put, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses exist within a company, while opportunities and threats come from the outside. This first slide highlights the internal strengths Ross Manor presently possesses. Our therapy department was enlarged during the recent renovation, and we've expanded our services to beyond physical therapy, to include occupational and speech therapy services. The renovation also privatized our skilled patient rooms in line with customer demand. Numerous technological advances were implemented during the renovations, such as an EMR system, hallway charting for staff, and self-sanitizing floors. Ross Manor also boasts an 8% turnover rate for nursing staff, which is over 60% lower than our closest competitors. Our staff are committed and dedicated to the mission and vision of this facility because they helped create it. RMR does have a few weaknesses that we should be aware of as we think strategically. The recent renovation did amazing things for the appearance and functionality of the building, but it did decrease our overall bed capacity from 160 to 120 beds. Skilled rehabilitation has a significantly higher reimbursement rate over our previous long-term care offerings. However, the contract with EMMC is imperative if we're to fill those beds with skilled patients. Skilled patients also present an increased challenge to our staff, who are not accustomed to multiple admissions and discharges in the same day. Long-term care patients typically face extended stays, and admissions have not been frequent. Skilled patients admit and discharge much faster, with the average joint replacement requiring only 2 to 3 weeks of inpatient therapy. While the new EMR has helped relieve some stress, growing pains are still being experienced. Despite the weaknesses, Ross Manor has a number of exciting opportunities knocking on our door. We're the only renovated facility in our service area. Our competitor buildings are all 20 to 30 years old, with as many as 4 patients to a room. Our facility is the only one in the area boasting all private rooms for skilled patients. This renovation was completed in anticipation of the orthopedic surgical wing that's recently opened at EMMC. With EMMC poised to be the leading provider of elective and emergency joint repair, our facility is in a prime position to be the exclusive center for rehabilitation in the area. The largest threat RMR faces in light of these opportunities is Brewer Center for Rehabilitation. They were a minimally competitive rival operating under a dying corporation. However, our rival corporation purchased Brewer, and rumors have begun that they will be completing a significant expansion and renovation. Stillwater Nursing Center has raised their salaries significantly in an attempt to garner local staff, as opposed to continuing the costly maintenance of traveling nurses. Although their wages are enticing, employee surveys show little interest from our staff, as the building is poorly run and extremely outdated. Although we're currently the newest and nicest facility, we must remember that our renovation paves the way for our competitors to follow in kind. We must make vital use of this time and establish our market dominance if we wish to maintain market competitiveness. Marketing is a 2-part process. figuring out what our product or service needs to be, and then working out how best to promote and present it. To tackle the first part, we used the results of the SWOT analysis while also evaluating our consumers, stakeholders, and the current market. Prior to our renovation, you can see joint replacement therapy made up nearly 3/4 of our patient base. Long-term care and hospice services are a small yet vital staple of who we are. Our stakeholders consist of not only our patients and employees, but also EMMC. Currently, the majority of our admissions come from EMMC, and the proposed contract with them will only deepen our relationship. The combination of these elements and the SWOT assessment shows us the rehabilitative, long-term care, and hospice services are the markets we should focus on. The second part of the marketing equation, as mentioned above, is promotion and presentation. To accomplish this, I've designated 3 team leaders who are specialists in their field. They will not only be spearheading our marketing strategy in each area, but also supervising these areas in the future. Robin Oshima is the Director of Therapy Services and is currently in negotiations with EMMC to obtain the exclusive contract as their rehabilitation provider. Robin is a longtime staff member with a strong and magnetic personality. Most importantly, there is no one better equipped to answer any questions EMMC may have about our offerings or capabilities. Robin designed our therapy gym after consultation with EMMC, so we can rest assured it has every capability EMMC may require. He's also supervising the implementation of occupational and speech therapy services. Vince Castillo has been our Director of Nursing Services for the last 2 years and has quickly gained the respect and loyalty of our staff. Recent surveys designated him as the best candidate to lead our in-house well-being panel. Vince is actively surveying and listening to employees about what matters most to them. As the Director of Nursing Services, Vince understands the challenges of care and the emotional cost on our staff. A key part of our marketability is the standard of excellence our staff provide. That is only possible through the recruitment and the retention of the area's best and brightest. Renee Haskell is our Director of Hospice Services. Renee began with Ross Manor as a nurse nearly 10 years ago. She quickly found her calling and passion by providing a safe and secure environment for families and patients to spend their precious remaining time together. Currently, Ross Manor is hoping to fill a majority of our beds with post-surgical rehabilitation patients. However, our private rooms create an atmosphere that can accommodate families and patients who are transitioning beyond. Renee has extensive relationships with the local hospice providers and has been giving daily tours to show our capabilities. Hospice care requires a special person, and Ross Manor is designed to allow home care hospice facilities to partner with us and provide the care within our facility. This minimizes the emotional strain on our staff and also builds a partnership within our community, making an ally out of a competitor. A strategy discussion isn't complete until we discuss ongoing performance assessment. How well our strategy worked, as well as how to continue improving, are important parts of the process. There are a nearly endless number of assessment tools. However, I'm going to recommend 2 that can be easily implemented. Healthcare today is driven by 3 major factors: patient expectations, quality of care, and cost. One way of measuring all 3 of these is benchmarking. Benchmarking involves the identification of facilities that are similar to us and then comparing our costs, practices, and outcomes to establish areas that need improvement. By utilizing facilities that are comparable but currently superior, we'll ensure Ross Manor's excellence never hits a ceiling. Consumer Assessment of Healthcare Providers and Systems, CAPS, is another assessment tool that can generate positive outcomes. CAPS is a standardized type survey that allows your customers to be surveyed about what happened when they received care rather than relying on opinions or comments. It also provides a standardized means for comparison that feeds directly into benchmarking. Many more performance assessment tools are available and can be implemented at any time. RMR has a strong market position in Bangor. However, competitive advantage is often short-lived. As the first facility to renovate, RMR will now be the center to beat when other facilities begin to remodel. The renovation will pay off if RMR can secure the orthopedic contract. The renovation of Ross Manor required just over a year, so conservative estimates mean we have a little under a year before our competitors begin to roll out their newly renovated facilities. We must act on these strategies and firmly establish ourselves before another competitor takes our place. Thank you so much for your attention to this presentation. We'll now pause and open for questions.